Hey everyone, you're watching Dirt Bike Channel. I'm your host, Kyle Brotherson, and today we're going to be talking about off-road riding gear, specifically the Klim DAKAR series of riding gear. That's what's coming up next on Dirt Bike Channel.
Woo! Good. Let's do it again. You know that moment when you just realize that the sun is right there and it is going down. It's halfway behind, halfway down. I just took my glove off and it is a bloody finger. Broke the skin on the inside of my hand right here, boom. And
some of my viewers might not actually be aware that Klim makes off-road dirt bike riding gear. A lot of time people think that Klim is just a snowmobile clothing company. Well, they make some pretty awesome dirt bike stuff for us too. So we're going to talk about one of the lines that they have here today. Hopefully I can get my hands on some more of the stuff so we can do some more of that later. But let me bring you into a tighter shot here. The one thing I do want to point out though is, see, these pants are dirty. This jersey is dirty, and that's because I rode about 4 hours yesterday with this gear. So this is a real test. I'll tell you what I really think about this stuff having just used it. So to give you a little bit of an understanding, a little bit better of an understanding, the DAKAR series with this DAKAR jersey and the DAKAR pants and the DAKAR gloves, it's a little bit more of a cool weather riding gear. I would classify this as you know, your high alpine mountain riding gear. It is vented, as you can, I don't know how well you can see, but on the sleeves here, it is vented. It's like a nylon mesh vent here, especially on the backs. But this is a little bit warmer. If it's 90 degrees outside, this is probably not, the DAKAR lineup is probably not the jersey for you, although there are multiple places where it's vented. Here's some cool stuff about this equipment though. There are pads built in here into the elbows. There are vents built into the back. In the back here, there's some, I don't know what you call it, like a little bit of nylon rubber that's down on the bottom of the shirt tail. It says Klim down here, but this kind of helps keep it tucked in. Around on the front, just a really durable piece of riding gear. You'll see that you're vented in the pits, you're vented on the side here, so it's not terribly hot, but it's also one of the warmer jerseys that I've actually worn. I wasn't sweating in this a ton, but yesterday the hottest that it got was probably only up in the 50s when I was riding it, and you know, maybe 60 at the top. But by the end of the ride, we were down probably in the 40s, and it started to get chilly, and this actually kept me fairly warm. It's also got kind of a little bit of shoulder pads almost. They're not huge, bulky shoulder pads, but there's a little bit of a shoulder padding up here, which was awesome for using my, you know, I've got my backpack on, and this actually just kept it really comfortable. Some of the time you get your straps from your backpack digging into you a little bit, and I think that's going to make it a little bit more comfortable, and it certainly did yesterday. So that's the DAKAR jersey. I believe this is just in green. This is a large. I may show you kind of how this fits on me, but I felt like the sizing was pretty good on this. So that is the jersey. We'll set that aside. This is the DAKAR ITB in the boot pant. So as you can see, it's like a traditional motocross style pant where it goes down into the boot. But these things are built better than a lot of the other pants that I see. It's built pretty heavy. This was actually very warm. When I was putting on my gear here in the shop and I was having my wife help me set the sag, I was a little bit sweaty with these pants on because they're warm. They are vented. You do have vents in the back. This is a fixed vent right here. It's kind of like a hamstring vent. And then you have these zippered vents in the front. But while I was working, you know, getting the bike on and off the stand, I was a little bit warm in this, but honestly it was 72 degrees here in my shop with the, you know, the heater on. So I was a little bit warm in this. But once I got out on the trail, out on the ride, then these pants were really nice. You've got articulated knees here, and everything works really good. I felt really at home. It was a little snug down here on the bottom, inside the boot. By the way, you can also get this DAKAR lineup with over the boot pants if you want. So it goes over your boot instead of tucked down into it. Some of the other things, you've got stretch points in all the various places that you want it to stretch. You have a couple of cargo pockets. I didn't put, and it's on both sides, I didn't put anything in the cargo pockets because these can actually, I don't know, these zippers, you could put some stuff in here, but I maybe wouldn't put anything that's of utmost critical importance because this zipper can come down and you might lose it. But the thing I did like was this zippered vent on the thigh. This was actually pretty cool to be able to open that up to get some more ventilation, and then when it got cooler, I zipped those things up and it actually kept me quite warm. Up on the top, you know, you've got, it actually is adjustable here with Velcro adjustment on the top. So I ended up getting a 32, and because I wear a 32 pant, and then I was able to just kind of snug them up just a little bit, which I thought was a nice touch. Inside, and here's something that I hadn't seen on any other riding pants. Inside, you have a pocket here where you can drop stuff, and this is kind of on the side that would be kind of like right on your hip, where you've got pockets on either side where you could maybe drop a phone or drop something down there, drop your wallet maybe down inside there. And so this stuff, this riding gear is actually really quality built. I'm very impressed with the build quality of this stuff. Oh, another thing is you've got leather on the inside of your legs. So this leather is kind of like burn resistant, and I'll show you on the bike maybe, I actually did get into the pipe on this. I had a situation where I kind of almost went over the bars because I stopped real fast, and I got my knee, inside of my knee area right into the pipe, and I burned a mark right into the pipe, but it didn't actually melt through these pants because it came in contact with the leather here. So these things are built really, they're built to last. They're built warm, but it doesn't bother you. You could wear knee braces underneath these things, or knee pads underneath these things, and have plenty of room. It was very comfortable. Some of the pants that I've used in the past, in the knees, they kind of rub me a little bit weird. These did not do that, so thumbs up there. And then to kind of kick on, or wrap up the entire package, these are the DAKAR gloves. Now I'm couple good things and a couple bad things. Good things are that these were actually quite warm and they felt really good. Once I kind of got them broken in, they worked pretty well. And so I had no complaints there. And I think on some of those colder mornings, those colder rides, these things would actually be really great. And these will be my kind of go-to gloves on cold mornings. They do have some like, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of like a little rubber or nylon things in here to help you kind of get a better grip. Well, they put them on the fingers, and these things kind of just peeled right off a couple of my fingers within one ride. So these are going to be off soon. I had some of this stuff. I don't know how well you can see, but it peeled off of both of my index fingers. Not a big deal because it just peels off. It's just kind of stuck down on the glove. So at first I was like, oh, I don't really like that, but you know what? It ended up just kind of peeling off, and then it's no biggie, and it's not going to affect the way that the gloves function. So I was actually pretty happy with these, despite the fact that, you know, it is a little bit weird when you've got these little rubber things kind of peeling off. I'm sure that they will come off in time and be completely off. All right, so this is what it looks like when it's on. Again, it's got a real nice fit to it. You can adjust the pants how you need it. You need to adjust them. You know, you've got your thigh zips here, you know, for ventilation. Here's your cargo pocket down in here. You've got some good ventilation and some good stretch here through the crotch. Obviously, you've got good articulation in the knees. I should have put boots on. I've got the boots out in the garage. So apologize, I've got just socks on, but you can see there's a good articulation here. Everything feels very normal, very natural. I don't have anything pulling here on my shoulders. I don't have any funny thing happening here in the elbows, so that's good. Again, there was that nylon back here in the back that helps keep your shirt tucked in, so I like that. And you know, your elbow pads. A little bit of shoulder protection up here for when you've got your backpack on. That way it's not going to be digging into your shoulders on some of those long rides. So this is a really good cool weather gear, probably the best cool weather riding gear that I've ever owned. So I'm happy to have it, and I think it's gonna stand up to years of abuse. This stuff appears to be built pretty well. I've actually had jerseys ripped halfway off. Sometimes when I'm going through you know, juniper trees or whatever, I'll kind of cut the corner pretty tight, and I'll get a branch that will catch my jersey, and it's actually torn jerseys all the way off of me. But I think this is built out of some really, really sturdy stuff. You can look on Klim.com on their website, KLIM.com, I believe it is, and they can tell you the particulars on all this stuff. I'll maybe put some links in the video, but I'm pretty happy with this stuff. They've got some other gear that's a little bit more of a warm weather riding gear that I'm gonna try to get my hands on and see if I can also do a review on that. But this is the DAKAR series, and I like it.